just kind of give us a general overlook of what you thought about your team and your group guys in the LSU game.
I think there was improvement there from some of the specialist work. Still some stuff to clean up, but Keelan seemed to get a little more comfortable as the game went along, and that was good to see from the first 2 weeks, kind of his progression there. But again, some things that he can still work on situationally and his understanding. But much better performance from him in week 3. Not a ton of opportunities on field goal, obviously, but some clean operations there. And then obviously kickoff, it was good to get Nick back and kind of see some balls sail through the end zone. We just want to make sure our cover guys are ready for that ball to come out, when it does.
Talk about Tulu's return. That was one of the bright spots of the game. He getting at midfield there. Were you surprised they even kicked it to him?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're trying to kick some touchbacks, but sometimes those balls hang up a little bit, So we actually put in a little cleaner blocking for Tulu up front. That's one of the things too. A couple of good returns, but it could have been better. Could have been better. So we need all of that. He needs to do his job, and the other 10 guys in front of him need to do their job. But anytime we get him an opportunity, we want to try and capitalize on it.
What do you consider an opportunity for him? Is he under any kind of orders, like if it's in the end zone, it's your decision, or how deep, or what?
Yeah, I mean, it's generally there's a 1-1,000, 2-1,000, 3-1,000, 4-1,000, kind of on the hang time, but he's got some leeway, a couple steps into the end zone, and I probably wouldn't be mad at him if he took it even further from that, but just got to be decisive back there. That's the thing, if you're aggressive and decisive, that can make up for some other stuff. So I think the ones that he did field were the ones he should have, and the ones that he didn't probably made a good decision.
Do you train your guys that are up front blocking just to ignore the ball and just block and wait and see what he does behind them?
100%, yeah, 100%. And it's a long play. That's the other thing, So if he does get loose, it's not one of these 4-second plays on average. It's a double-digit second play, and it's going to take everybody to finish the play and to get him all the way in the end zone.
Nice to get Xavion back at full strength this week.
Yeah, no, he's starting to bounce around, starting to look like the old Xavion, and which is great for us back there on punt return. Not a bunch of opportunities there either, but again, if we can block better, even on a punt that's not necessarily the most returnable punt, we can still get an opportunity. So we gotta maximize any chance that we have. Anytime they punt the ball, anytime they kick off the ball, we'd like to try and make a play.
I saw one play where Jaden was out in a kickoff return role, and then the next play somebody else rotated him. How do those change during game? Who's out there in the kickoff return team?
Yeah, it's obviously who's playing a bunch, right? Who's playing a bunch on defense? If there's a long drive, we're trying to spell those guys. Somebody at 100% is going to be better than the guy that's kind of gassed at that point. So some of our veterans, they know what they're doing, and they can come to me and we talk it over. If he needs a blow on this one, he'll come back on the next one. Same thing goes for a lot of the kickoff guys, honestly, too. If they're out there on the field, and we have to keep developing those young guys behind them. That's the biggest thing. Develop the young talent, get them ready to play, and then obviously I hope they can take some of those jobs over from some of the starters. And then we've got the starters and opportunities, or just in situational, critical situations where we want Jaden out there, or we want Buki on a kickoff, or Jed on a kickoff. Then those guys are ready to go.
On the cover teams, Bryce Pollock really seems to have a knack for finding the ball.
Yeah, he's done a nice job. Last game was a really good performance from him. Just kind of threw him in several different roles, and this week it kind of expand his role, what he's doing. And biggest thing that he does is gives great effort. If you give great effort, you got a good chance of making plays. Good things happen. So he's full speed. He's got one gear, which is great, and he's got a good football mind.
You're going to have a true freshman punter and kicker entering a road game for their first time in their college careers. I guess, what do you say to them as they head into this environment on Saturday?
Yeah, it starts with the practice field. We want to treat that like it's Tuesday practice, Wednesday practice, and obviously there's a lot of stuff around that, but like anything else, you want to listen to the noise and just kind of focus on doing your job. As you go out there and you see the field goal post and you see the football on the tee, and somebody snapping to you and you're punting it. So it's just got to be, just relax, do your job. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. That's the thing too. We don't want them too tight. Play relax, let it rip. And good things will happen. If it doesn't, at least there's no regrets, man. Go out there and give it your best shot and make it happen.
What do you think of how your group did in the LSU game?
Not good enough to win. There were some good things, but obviously after every game, no matter win or lose, there's going to be things you want to do better. I thought they competed. I thought they played hard, but some execution stuff that we got to do better, got to clean up some reads in the run game, make sure we're attacking the right guys. But I do like the way they competed.
Talk about the way Tulu's getting work as both a running back, basically, in those sweeps, and a receiver, too, and how he's making plays in both.
Yeah, that's who he is, right? You talk about it, you've seen it for a long time. He's a player that can make plays as soon as you put the ball in his hands. So it's on us to figure out ways to do that, as many ways as possible, not just throwing passes downfield, whether it's screen, handing it to him, whatever it is, put the ball in your playmaker's hands and let him go be special. And, again, he's shown it.
I think before the first game, we talked to you a little bit just about rotations within the wide receiver room, and I guess your role in that. What, from your perspective, I guess, has happened with Creed these past 2 weeks after his snap count against Southeastern Louisiana?
I think it's more so how well is Tulu playing, right? They're playing the same position. And again, not to get confused, Creed's a heck of a player now. But it's a good problem to have, I guess, right? We got two really good players at the same position, so you just got to rotate them as much as you can. He hadn't done anything wrong. It's just a matter of us putting the right personnel on the field and getting him involved.
Were you pleased with Xavier and how he's come back now to full speed and the plays he was making?
Yeah, Xavier's another one of those guys that can be dangerous anytime he touches the ball. But again, Xavier's a sophomore, you know what I mean? So every time he gets on that game field, he's getting better. Some things we got to clean up, but he plays hard, you know, and that's all you can ask for. If you can play hard, we can correct the other stuff. So just keep competing, keep playing, and we'll clean up the small things.
Saw, early in the game especially, just some miscommunication between Will and some of the receivers. When you look back at that, is it a simple fix, or what do you kind of see in some of those plays?
Yeah, I guess you say nothing simple, but it's things that can be corrected in practice. So we just got to make sure we're on the same page, right? We have some option routes, some things that are dictated off coverage, right? So we just got to make sure we're seeing the same things and we're on the same page.
David mentioned Xavier being a little banged up. I know it's a matter of getting some of these guys healthy.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. You have some guys that are still fighting injuries, some guys playing through things that people don't even know about, right? But like Coach said, at the beginning of the season, playing in this league, you'll never feel 100% the rest of the year, right? So if you can fight through it, we got to play through it. But if it's something that's really bothering you, then we're going to do what we got to do to make sure we get you healthy.
Jaden Wally said on his podcast today that he became a dad a month or so ago.
Yeah.
What did you think of how he kind of handled that and getting ready for a season?
Yeah, no, he's really mature. You know what I mean? He's been around here for a while, and the way he carries himself throughout the building, he's a grown man. You know, so happy for him. And he's done everything. I mean, you don't have to worry about Wally, right? That's not a guy you have to call and make. He's going to be on time. He's going to handle his business.
I know you don't want to force feed the ball to guys, given the way the offense develops, but how do you get guys like Robinson and Roberson and mostly more involved?
I think it's mostly game plan and winning your one-on-one reps, right? It's for Will, it's a clean read, right? So he's going based off best matchup and some things. So we just got to win our one-on-ones, right? In this league, you're going to get a lot of man, right? You got to beat the guy across from you. If you do that, you get opportunities.